Good evening, all, and welcome to the latest edition of the Man United Brothers podcast. Welcoming my co-host Thomas McClements, and before we get his views on today's wonderful game, I'd just like to say, slap it up Pep Guardiola, slap it up Martin Tyler, slap it up Graham Souness, slap it up all you dickheads who said United couldn't beat this wonderful city. 2-0. What do you think of it, Lasho?
Man, I thought it was unbelievable. I just want to say, though, you're one of those dicks that didn't think United could beat City, and I'm going to jump straight into this.
Fair
Predictions.
enough. Fair enough.
Curtis, Man United to lose 2-0. Thomas, Man United to win 2-0. Two
Lasho,
points to
Lasho.
Thomas.
What I done there was
One,
a bit of reverse psychology.
two.
Ollie listened to the podcast and he
I will
messaged me
take it.
saying he was disappointed. So
I'll take it, mate.
every single
I'll
time
take
from
it.
now on, I'm going to forecast that we're losing.
But what we got to remember is, right, that you shouldn't get a penalty for fouling one of our players in their box. So, therefore, that shouldn't have been allowed. Bruno only scores penalties, so that doesn't count
True,
either.
yeah,
So
that's a good
really,
point,
we
good
did
point.
that first half was rubbish because we shouldn't have had a 1-0 lead.
Yeah.
Because it's just not fair. Because that's anyone else can do it. Anyone else can get fouled. Not Man United though. We can't get penalties. Nah.
What I have to say, mate, is I'm so happy, so pleased that we won. But also, I don't know if it's, I don't know. Like I've always watched matches on TV, like all my life. Always had Sky, I've watched them on BT, whatever. But I don't know if it's because there's so many more matches or whatnot on now. There seems to be, and people have said this for years, and I've always thought, oh, I don't really notice it. But there seems to be definitely people who, like a lot of people who just are against United. Like Martin Tyler today, United got a leg up because they got a penalty. Well, how's it a leg up? We won a penalty because, like you say, they fouled us in their box. So it's not a leg up; it's a fucking penalty. It's strange.
It just makes me laugh, mate. I've never picked
Yeah.
up on it before either. And it's probably been going on for years. But I mean, what I would say is, what a great way to start a game. We started on the front foot. We started like we wanted. We were keen. We were just all over them. First 5 minutes, we should have been 2-0 up. We had another great opportunity. I just thought in general, we were there, we turned up, and we were just ready to go. Now, the thing that did happen, and it's what we said, we want to score early so we
Yeah.
can invite teams out. City would have come out anyway.
Well, yeah.
But we love playing against a team who want to keep the ball. That's what we love to do because we like to keep our shape of our back four and the two in front and then let the Bruno going everywhere and then let the front three break fast. We love doing it. It's what we're great at doing. And I thought we were, exceptional. But I'm still going to be critical on certain points of us today as we go through this. But in general, I mean, it was just unreal. And it started at the back. Henderson looks like a Man United goalkeeper. Don't get me
Top
wrong.
drawer, mate.
De Gea has done his bit for United. He has. But these last couple of seasons, he hasn't looked like a United keeper. He doesn't look like he's in charge. He doesn't look like he's strolling around like it's his box. It just looks like he's happy that he's been allowed to be there. Whereas Henderson he owned it. Everything
Yeah.
about him today was just exceptional.
Top drawer, mate. Top drawer. Henderson was like he just what's that word I'm looking for? But he gives everyone confidence. He is confident.
Aura.
And whatever it is. It's not that, but I can't think of it. Exudes is that it? Anyway, he gives out the confident vibe. He knows what he's doing. He's confident that come and catch the ball. He's shouting at his defender. He's telling them what to do, and that just came across. And that helps the defence massively. Now look, there's a couple of points on what you were saying there. One about the David De Gea thing. Yes, he was great for years. We've been saying for a while he probably needed, wanted Henderson to be our number one. I don't really understand what's going on with De Gea, why he's in Spain. I get he's having a baby, absolutely, and family comes first and all the rest of it. I'm struggling to understand why he's still missing. Alisson's father died. He missed one match and straight back. That's surely more of a significant impact on your life than that. Maybe I'm wrong. I just think it's a bit strange. But I think what he's done, and hopefully I'm right, is that he's given Dean Henderson the opportunity, and you can't now remove Dean Henderson from your number one. In 2 or 3, he's shown it all season when we've said it, but in 2 or 3 games he's identified a couple of things with our goalkeeping spot that we needed to shore up and make better, and that's what Henderson's done. The command of the area, the communication with the defence, and not only that, I'll admit there was a couple of times he kicked it out and it was a bit poor with his feet. It was intercepted. But the second goal came from Dean Henderson. Quickly get the ball, big throw out. It wasn't. He took his time to be fair. Perfectly placed throw out to
Hmm.
Luke Shaw, who could take it on the run. You mentioned in the last one, we put the ball in front of people. He put that ball right so Shaw could bang onto it. Cancelo's cut out and Shaw's away, and that led to the second goal. So he made a massive difference. A massive difference.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's great to see. And then in front of him, I thought Lindelof and Maguire were both exceptional.
Yeah.
Maguire a little bit loose on the ball, more so than he normally is, because that was one of his big strengths. He was so good on the ball. He wasn't that good today, but with a City team, the way they press, I'm not going to moan about that because defensively, I thought he was brilliant. He read stuff, he intercepted stuff. Lindelof done the same. There was that one where it came across, and Sterling probably should have done better, but Lindelof done enough just to put him off it.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was one of those times when you think, it's like we've said so many times before, that partnership can work when you're sitting in and you're trying to catch them on a counter break. It's when you're playing at Crystal Palace that you want a bye playing so you can cover yourself whenever you are pushing up so high. I know that didn't work out on Wednesday night, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You play bye whenever you're going to be on the front foot, whenever you're going to be pushing up high with the ball. And when you don't have the ball, then I'm happy to play Lindelof because he did do exceptional day, even in the air, which he usually isn't very good at.
Yeah.
I thought they were both brilliant.
But even at that, I thought today we did. We played with a higher line for a good first 30 minutes, especially. I thought we played with a higher line and sort of pushed on. Now, we didn't have the ball as much, but we certainly were higher up, and I thought, that's a bit dodgy. But I actually think we've talked about it where we think we need, I thought I need Baye in there. He makes a difference, and he does make a difference. But actually, maybe we've underestimated the goalkeeping position, whereby with Henderson in there, as we've talked about, he just commands his area. He just communicates the ball over the top. He's out to it. The ball's crossed in. He's onto them. He's coming out and claiming them. That makes a massive difference, and maybe even that alone it definitely will help.
Your centre backs can then concentrate on their job and not worry about the second ball because they can trust the goalkeeper to do what he needs to do.
Yeah, no, I thought they looked good, and look, I was going to say, as you touched on earlier, and I'm sorry I got distracted with the Henderson point, but the one of the things I'll say is Ollie has Pep's card marked, ripped up, fucking torn, whatever way you want it. He just knows how to play. He out tactics, out classes, outsmarts Pep Guardiola all the time. So for all these people that don't give Ollie credit and Ollie out and all that, I don't understand it. Every time he goes up against Pep, he's outsmarted him. And this City team aren't that great. Like, people have been saying about how good City are and all the rest of it, they don't look that great to me. I honestly was surprised, and I don't think we played as well as we can, or as well as I've seen us play, and it didn't really cause us that many problems. It was just Ollie set up, knows how to play against them, and goes out against them, and Pep Guardiola didn't want to change his ways. Fair enough, whatever, that's up to him. But I just think you got to give Ollie a massive credit. Yes, we got to figure out how to break down teams like the Palace and stuff that we're saying, but whenever you're coming up against that and you talk about games against the Big Six and all this shite, that all of a sudden it's a negative narrative going against Ollie, you got to give him credit. And, I will absolutely give him credit, and that's what we're saying about Lindelof stuff. Give them credit when they play well. And I'm sure we'll come on to Martial, who was outstanding today.
Before we do talk about that, because, I have different views on Martial, what I do want to cover, but you went through a host of things there. First of all, take your Man United goggles off, because this City team are incredible. I've watched them week in, week out, mate. It's the way they move the ball at pace. They're not afraid to take the 50-50 balls on, and more often than not, they work. Today, they were poor because we made them poor. Today, they didn't create too much, but still created chances where they could have scored and just didn't take that final bit. But what I'm saying is you can't just write them off and say they're not a good team.
They're not.
Of course, they weren't brilliant today because of how we played. They are a fantastic team. I've watched them every week. They are incredible.
No, but you know what they've got? But listen,
what?
You know what they've got? They've got the fear factor. Teams are afraid to play against them, and that works in their favour, because then it's even the likes of Wolves. Wolves were drawn with them during the week, and then Wolves almost got afraid and didn't want to do anything, and then City beat them 4-1 then, because they just back. We didn't give that fear factor today.
No, City do that to you, mate, because they move the ball so well. Like you got to give credit where credit's due. I was speaking to someone the other day, and I said the one thing that amazes me about City, watching them attacking has always been fantastic. Like, it's always been incredible to watch some of the positions they get into. But now watching them get back in a defensive position is almost as impressive as their attacking position. And I'm happy to admit that, because Pep has done a fantastic job with them. But today we had their number, and you're right, we absolutely smashed them up.
But that was too easy. That team, I just don't think they're all that. I think everyone's bumming and blowing
But
about
that's
them,
just because you're biased. That's just because you're
well, I can
biased.
be biased, but what I'll say is that actually, if you look at them and look what Ollie's done, it's other teams have got to have not have the fear against him. And the other thing I'll say about him is he's a dirty wee rat. You know, they annoyed me with the way they got on about that when Henderson put it out for a sub to be done for Greenwood to come on, and that wee rat Guardiola slobbered him out. And Ollie far today said they weren't smacking him in the mouth, taking the throw and not letting her make her sub. He's a wee rat, and he has his number. I don't think that good. And sorry, that's not the wrong thing. They definitely weren't that good today, but I don't think they're as good as people are making them out to be, I should say, right? Because people have made them out to be better than this team and that. They're not. They're good.
Yeah, but you can never do that. I hate when people do that. I hate when people say that Liverpool team was better than the Arsenal's Invincible team and they were better than the United 98, 99 team. You can't. It's like comparing a famous Simon Jordan saying it's apples and oranges. You can't compare any of that because that team at that time was the best team at that time. It doesn't matter if you're playing against that team and this team. All of it's low shit.
No,
but we digress. We digress. No, I don't want to talk about
let me make the one point. Is I was listening to Talk Sport as well. I cracked the eldest annoyance in my house there, and she wasn't breaking any COVID rules. Don't worry. But the on Talk Sport, Alex Crooks was saying, "Are Man City worse with Kevin De Bruyne in the team?" And I genuinely think they might be. I don't know why, because he's obviously a world class player.
He was poor today, but again, I think that's because we made him poor. I think that's because we made him poor.
Genuinely, like you think?
Genuine.
Yeah.
So it leads me on nicely then. Okay, so that's that bit set aside. All I want to say is that I do think you look at it with biased glasses. I'm happy to admit when teams are better than us, and you know what I mean. Our challenge is always to win the league, which is when we're not winning the league. I don't care about Liverpool. I don't care about Man City. All I care about is United and United getting better. But talking about that, Fred today, right? There was first half Fred and there's second half Fred. There's Fred with the ball and Fred without the ball. So first half Fred without the ball, exceptional. He gave De Bruyne no time. He was all over him. He was everywhere. He was winning the ball. Fantastic. With the ball, first half Fred, honestly, I swear, mate, I was going to get a flight. I was going to get a flight over to Manchester. I forgot to live in England. I was going to drive up to Manchester and just drag him off the pitch myself. He was killing me. Every single time we had an out ball or we had a transition period, he'd get the ball and give it away. Every time, bar none, in the first half. Second half, it was a different Fred. Every pass he made went to our players. He was so much better in the second half. He just kept the ball. He won the ball. Give it simple. It was just a weird. I just don't understand him as a player. I just don't get it anymore.
No, the one thing I'll say is, and this is a if your granny had balls moment, but if Paul Pogba plays instead of Fred today, I think we win 4-5-0, and I genuinely believe that because that's what you're saying. He got the ball in the turnover and we'd done it so well, and then he just gave it away. Whereas the opportunity was there to get the right pass, and we were in again.
But then would Pogba have worked as hard as him off the ball and hounded De Bruyne so he wouldn't have had as much time? I think McTominay was exceptional again. He takes a little while to build into these games, but after 15, 20 minutes when he settled down, he looks so classy. He does some real classy things, just the way he moves, the confidence he has. I actually said, this is a little bit sort of curveball, but I said I cannot wait to watch him play for Scotland in the Euros this summer because I want to see him as the leader, as someone who's going to take it on his shoulders and drive forward. In a Scotland team who are nothing's expected of them, I want to see how McTominay, how he reacts to it. I'm really intrigued by it because he is a player that I think, and Baker's been saying it for a long time, he could be the future of our defensive midfield role. He is that good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I thought you were going to say future of our defence there, sorry, because we've already played for Scotland. But I agree. I think I'm not even sure if I'd say defensive midfield. I just think midfield in general because he gets forward so well. You know, he makes good runs and he can find good passes. There's still a bit to improve on, but he's not that old. You know, he's still young and he still has time to improve.
100%.
So
for me, he's better than Fred. I mean, he starts before Fred for me every day of the
100%.
week. You know what I mean?
And that's what I'm saying with him and Pogba in there is I think it would be perfect. And that's I've said to you before, we don't need Declan Rice. We've got Scott McTominay.
No, I agree with that. No, I agree with that. Why waste your money when you've got McTominay? You need to find someone who can play with McTominay.
Yeah.
If Pogba's going to stay, we know what our thoughts are on that. But he has become better. If his agent stays out of it, you know, it's a different story.
Yeah.
And then right, so Martial for me, again. you had a first half Martial and a second half Martial. I thought Martial in the first half was bang average. I thought Martial in the second half was fantastic. But in general, the first half we gave the ball away as a team too much. We just didn't look after it. We didn't. We panicked. We rushed it. Second half, we done everything so much better. We got Dan James on the ball. He ran at people. Martial held the ball up exceptionally well. Everything that came to him stuck to him, and he brought someone else into play. He was being found out wide. I thought he was brilliant second half, but first half I just thought, and it probably wasn't his fault. It was more to do with how we were playing in general. We just couldn't get him involved as much, and he wasn't doing much, in my opinion.
I thought everything Martial done today, apart from his finishing, was
Yeah,
world class.
yeah.
Honestly, and there was one flick that I was annoyed with because he flicked out of play and he could have made it easier rather than he touched it up, flicked.
It would look
You
good
know,
though if it came off.
and they replayed it. Like, oh, it looks so good, but it kicked the ball straight out of play. But anyway, but apart from that, his finishing, obviously he should have scored at least
Oh,
one.
he should
The
have
first one
scored
with the
that one.
header, the first one with the header. I think Rashford was in his way, and he sort of didn't know what he was doing, and ended up the ball almost behind him. But the other one, he should have scored. There's just no two ways about that.
Hmm.
But everything else, he actually looked. You were looking at him going, "This guy, how have I been complaining about him for so long?" And I've said it before. We wanted him out, and he's not good enough, and he doesn't try hard enough, and all the rest of it. Today, he was like a man possessed. He was getting the ball. He was chasing back. He was winning it. He was passing off. He was holding off Stones and Diaz, two of the best centre backs in the league. I mean, he made it look easy, and they were fouling him. They were being sucked out of defence and coming with him. I couldn't believe what I was watching with him. It
Mm.
shows you what he has there, and I suppose that's the frustration as well. Is that consistency? If he consistently done that, he could be our number 9.
But then this is my worry. My worry is, and this isn't, it spreads further than just Martial. Does the team only get up for the big games? It's, you know what I mean, where you don't need the motivation to play against a Man City, big derby, top of the table. Leicester have just taken our second spot. Do we want it back? Go out and prove it. Everyone turns up. Everyone plays the best they can. And then it was West Ham in the league next, so it doesn't really count. But the Palace game on Wednesday, no one looked like they wanted to be there.
Yeah,
It looked like they needed a rocket up their ass. That no one was motivated. No one cared. Like, this is the bit I just don't understand.
well, that's the funny thing you mentioned about fatigue and about all they look tired on Wednesday night and all that carry on. But they've only had 3-4 days till today, and it was more or less basically the same team, right? But no one looked tired today because, like you're saying, they're up for the
That's
big
it.
game.
It's the difference of the
So
adrenaline. Like,
yeah, so it is a bit of a concern because we need to be up for all games, and especially like Chris Palace, you go and smash 2-3 in them early, and then if the game's a gift, then you can relax, and then that's where you save your energy. Um, but yeah, as I say,
easy said, isn't it?
well, yeah, exactly. But if Martial can play like that, I mean, I, I, I was so impressed with him. I was just watching, going, I can't believe how well he's playing. And then on the flip side, I don't want to be negative about him today because he was so good, but it's just like against other teams, you've been berating him because he's been awful, not trying and doing all that. So I don't know. Look, Rashford looks like he's going to be out for a few games. I don't know what the Cavani situation is. And on Cavani, I love Cavani, and I think he should be our start number 9. The issue clearly is his injuries, and he can't get a run of games without picking an injury up, which is really unfortunate. But if he can play midweek, I would have him and put Martial left, because he deserves to be starting. So if it's Rashford out, put Martial left and let him play there. But yeah, if he could keep that level of performance up, you've got a real good
But
looking striker.
but that's the thing. I'm not going to get overexcited about Martial
I
just
know.
yet because he needs to be consistent with it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
one
big
game
game
out
on
of
Thursday. It's AC Milan next on Thursday night, isn't it?
yeah. Is that
So
home or away? I can't even remember.
it's at
Um,
home the first game, I think.
But yeah, look, as I say, I'll not knock him. I don't want to be negative at all about him today because he was so good. But like you say, we'll not get carried away in terms of he needs to repeat that, and he's shown what he is capable of. He's shown that he can play that role. So I would, yeah, if Cavani's fit for Thursday night and Rashford's out, put Martial left, Cavani through the middle. And on that, I thought Dan James was brilliant today. Again, ran his heart out. He lacks that. He still lacks that quality. He still gives some silly passes at times, and he frustrates you in that way. But he never stops. He always running. He's always available. He's always closing down.
Again, though, I thought he had times where he got the ball and he done fantastically well with it.
Yeah,
Just
no, there
again,
was
it was the
times you
first
don't.
half he struggled with it.
I
It
think
was
it's the,
weird the first half, but he worked his ass off. He was brilliant
yes,
in defence. He
yeah,
done really well. Rashford as well in defence. He had a last disc tackle when he came back and won it
yeah.
on the edge
That's
of
when
the
he
box
injured
when they
himself.
looked like they were clean through.
Yeah.
Greenwood was exactly the same.
Oh,
Came back and made a tackle on Phil Foden.
on Foden.
That's the
Yeah,
sort of thing that you can't teach. Like
yeah.
that has to be.
100%.
You need to have the desire to want to win. And for
Yeah,
those boys, local Mank boys, it means more to them. Would they
yeah.
have been chasing back like that, on a Wednesday night against Palace? Like this is the mad
Yeah, well,
thing.
Rashford wasn't. Rashford wasn't. But Greenwood does, to be fair. I think Greenwood always been really good defensively. Now, that one, he ends up in the box with Foden and tackling him, which I thought was exceptional. Rashford, again, it's almost like James frustrated me. Worked really hard, tracked back well, but at times was running into blind alleys and just wasn't as good. He seems to have lost some confidence in shooting. There was three or
Oh,
four
don't.
times
I
where the
know.
shot was the one in particular where it had came to him and he just had to ping it and
On
he
his side as well.
yeah, it was strange that I don't know if he has lost a bit of confidence there or what's happened, but certainly Rashford of 6 months ago, you're just expecting to come on that and hit it and curl it in, and that was he loves doing that. So, but he did work really hard. So again, don't want to knock him because it does take a lot of a lot of running, especially the way their fullbacks push up and stuff. So they covered back well and put the hard work in. And like you say, the one he tracked back made a tackle. He got injured there, so that looks like he'll be out for a few weeks. Apparently, I was reading, but I don't know how they know it so quickly. But anyway, so you can't fault. You don't. I don't. I'm not faulting them. What I will say is, if we had had a bit more quality from them, I probably could have won 3 or 4 nil. Like it takes 2
Without a
nil all
doubt,
day
mate.
long, but you know what I
Without a
mean.
doubt. I
Yeah.
think it's just nice getting another clean sheet. Dean Henderson with
Oh,
another clean
brilliant.
sheet.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on Fernandez today?
I think again worked very hard. Couple of
Looked
nice
after the
moments.
ball a lot
Yeah,
better
a
because he
lot
didn't
better.
look
He
for the
wasn't
killer
trying.
pass right away,
Yes.
which was really nice to see because it was a game where we didn't want to just keep giving it back to him. Although we did a lot in the first half in general, he
Yeah.
wasn't looking for the glory ball straight away, and I thought it was good because he was looking to just try and keep it, which was it was nice. I thought
Yeah.
he done very well.
That's a funny thing. That's funny. I was noticing that he wasn't just trying that ball because he does try it a lot, and sometimes he gets credit for it, sometimes he gets negative for it because the guy's giving it away, but at least he's trying it. But today, you're right. He looked after it better. He kept it better. He never stopped running. Obviously the penalty. I thought he was a
Oh
bit
mate,
lucky.
I
Keeper
thought
got
I
that. I thought
thought
it
keeper
saved it.
saved it. I was nearly
Yeah, so
crying.
did I. But he put enough power on it, so it went in. And I think I thought he was very, very good today. I thought he was very good. I think to
Mm.
be fair to the whole team, they worked very hard. They put the effort in. They stuck to the game plan very well, and we just outclassed, outperformed. Whatever you want to call it, bullied Man City, and it was lovely to see. It was brilliant
The
to see.
champions elect.
Yeah, but it was brilliant to see. And if that can be a blueprint for other teams to maybe look at and go, ooh, maybe we could try that. I would love it. I'd love to see them drop a few more points and make it interesting. I don't know if that'll happen. But that's what I'm saying, David. Saying up, it just seemed so. I don't want to say easy, but it almost felt like it was
Yeah,
easy
but this
today
is
for us.
this is, and I'm going to contradict myself totally here. If
Yeah,
other teams set up to play against them like that, other teams don't have as good a defense as what we have. And by that, I
well,
don't mean individual players. I mean the defensive unit that we set
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah,
It is quite special because if you look at us last season, that's our defensive unit set up, and we conceded the second least goals in the whole league.
yeah,
We set up with a defensive unit, and that's when we are hard to break down, hard to get past. And I'm not knocking it, but you can't see like if a West Brom went and started attack, and didn't have that defensive unit, well
yeah,
then it's
yeah.
not really going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, just maybe it's just me probably being optimistic and trying to think if teams looked at that and said, well, let's try and do it that way and maybe take some points off City. Hopeful, I think, because if they drop some points and we can win some more and close the gap up, make it a bit interesting. Obviously, that would be what we want to do. But I do accept that they're a good team, but I just don't. I think today it seemed.
We were better. We just
Yeah, we
made
were
them
just
look
better.
average. Like
We
it's
did. We really
you,
did.
you
But that's
have
what
to
I mean
say,
by it.
and
Just looked easy.
it was. It's not easy is the wrong word because every
I
time
know,
they
but I
were
know
on
it's
the edge
not.
of
But
our
that's what
box,
I
I
mean.
was thinking, why has he got so much room? But I get it now. I get that they were just letting them do that on the edge of the box, so we could then just block the shot, or we trusted the keeper, whatever it may be. But
Yeah.
mate, for me, Luke Shaw was man of the match. I think
Oh yeah.
he is now, without a doubt, the best left back in that league.
Luke Shaw is for me the best left back in Europe, and I'll take Alphonso Davies, and I'll still say Luke Shaw's better on him. He's just exceptional defensively, attacking wise, and he added a goal to the game today. He's smart with his tackling. He knows when to stop an attack if needs be. Like he did, took that yellow card for the
Don't even
block
talk
on
to me about that yellow card.
Mahrez.
That pissed
Well,
me
they should
off.
have had two because they done the exact same thing to our boys. And didn't get
Zinchenko
it,
the second half. We'll let the Rashford one go where he was breaking on the edge of our box. We didn't even get a free kick for. But the
Yeah,
Zinchenko one was exactly the same as what Luke Shaw done.
yeah,
Yes, we
yeah.
got a free kick, but no yellow card.
I
The
know.
the standard of refereeing. Actually, I'll go off on one here. We won. I'm not going to go off on one about that. Carry on.
There's lots I could go off about. Like the Pep thing really irritated the bag
Yeah, I
out of
don't
me.
why that noisy.
And Mark,
That doesn't get that doesn't
why?
bother me
Why?
at all.
Because that see at the, like I can't. I think the problem with me is right. And everyone who knows me knows I manage St. Seconds, and I go on a Saturday and
You've
I'm
not
like
mentioned that before on here.
Haven't that? No, I'll just and I'll shout and moan, and I think that gets my annoyance out. Whereas now I don't have that, so things like that, like I was cracking up. I had a smack Pep Guardiola in
You
the
see,
mouth.
it's interesting because the way I see that is, and again, so if they had to put it out, I would have expected us to keep the ball. So what I'm looking at when that's going on
no,
is
no,
what's Solskjaer's reaction.
not
Solskjaer's
keep the ball. It wasn't about keeping the ball. It was about they didn't let us make the sub. They took the throw before we could bring Greenwood on.
I have
So
no
we put it
issues
out
with
because
that.
Rashford was off
I
injured.
get that. I've no issues with that, mate. And I would expect us to do the same. But
No, what
when
up? No.
Solskjaer's having a go, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at it's happened. It's an annoyance. I would expect Solskjaer to start having a go at him, which he absolutely did. Solskjaer was having a barney
He was
with
a
him.
bit soft though.
No, he
He was a
wasn't.
bit soft, trying to punch his hat and all.
He
But
done that after he started having the go.
yeah, fuck him. Fuck him. What do you want to slobber about?
Nah.
Come on over and slobber and then him and smack in the fucking gob. Wee squirt bastard, wee baldy fuck. He's annoyed by happiness with that shit. But anyway, we taught him a lesson again. Taught him another lesson. This wonderful manager. Let me tell you, he wouldn't lace Sir Alex Ferguson's fucking shoes. He should be licking them. He's nowhere near the manager Fergie was. Anyway, I went off on one there. You got me going. The referee I thought was terrible today. But we're
Mate,
back to
refereeing
Shaw.
in the Premier League in general is terrible at the minute.
Yeah. But back to Shaw. He was exceptional, and I genuinely, it's breaking my heart in one way. I've said this before. I don't want England to go near him.
It's only a
But he
couple of
has to-
weeks as
he's-
well.
he's
Three
in the
World
starting
Cup
left back.
qualifiers, and if he's not starting in each one of those games, there's a problem. But I'm with you.
I'd love him not to. I know that sounds funny, but I'd love him not to because I just want them focused on United and not have any risk of going there, getting injured or any of that carry on. And I just think anytime he's went to England, there always seems to be a problem. But I hope that doesn't happen. I hope he goes and does really well. But he has to be. You can't. If Gareth Southgate overlooks him to pick someone else at left back, who you thinking? Chilwell? Who else? I don't know.
Matty
You ca- I
Target
ca-
potentially.
I can't look past. You can't look past Luke Shaw. He's been
No.
exceptional. Whenever he broke his leg, before that he was the best left back in the Premier League, and he was brilliant. He was our best player then. He broke his leg, and it really had a massive impact on us. If you remember, that was under Louis van Gaal, I think, if I'm right.
Yeah.
And it had a massive impact on our performances, our attack and play, and everything. And then it was just brutal. And then obviously Jose completely ruined him. Just didn't manage him properly whatsoever.
So Dan asked me today. He said, do you think Shaw is a better player now today because of what Jose done to him?" And the answer is absolutely no. He's not. He would have been twice the player he is today if Jose had got him playing like this whenever he was in charge. Jose ruined him for a year and a half, and it took him last season to get to this level this season. So you've missed two good seasons out of Shaw, but you've missed three good seasons out of him because of Mourinho. Mourinho's I hate him.
It genuinely makes me wonder how Mourinho done so well with some players. It's obviously a certain type of player that reacts to the way he manages.
But look
And
what
if
he's
you
done
don't-
now with Gareth Bale. Cast him away, wouldn't play him. Now all of a sudden, the last three games, you're my main man, come and play for me. And he's scoring for fun now. And now all of a sudden, Jose will get all the plaudits saying, look what he done, he managed Bale so well. And you're just thinking, I don't get how it worked, because in my head, he would have been scoring all those goals the whole season if he had just been playing them. I hate Jose Mourinho.
I
just
think that is.
he's outdated.
He might not have scored them all the time. Like, he might have took a few months to get going and get into it, but he certainly didn't need to wait that long, I wouldn't have thought.
No.
But I was texting Adam softly as well, and he was saying about Shaw being our best player, and he is. But I just genuinely think Jose ruined him. I don't see why. It's interesting. What I'm saying is, obviously there's a certain player reacts well to how Jose manages, and if you don't react well or you're not that certain type of person, Jose just doesn't want to know. Like the things he said about Shaw were absolutely. Like if you went back and watched the things he was saying about Shaw and how Shaw was playing to look Shaw now, or even before he broke his leg, you're going well, like that's just different. It's just poor
Yeah.
management,
Oh,
and he
100%.
must look at it now and go, well, he probably doesn't,
He
but
doesn't,
he
mate.
should.
He's too arrogant to look at that and
Yeah,
think I
I
made a
know.
mistake.
But he should. He should look at that and go, fuck, I got that wrong. Look how well. He's the best left
Mate,
back in the
he
league.
will
In
look at
Europe, for
that. He
me.
will look at that and go, "Look, Shaw's doing that because it's my head, because I put my head." And then you're thinking, "No, you fucking idiot." But anyway, we
But he was
digress again.
exceptional. I know.
What I would just say, mate, just to round off, I thought we were fantastic today. I thought, no, I'm not going to get
Oh,
carried away. I don't expect us to turn up. Maybe against AC Milan, we'll play a similar style of football, where we'll sit back, try and take it all in, and then catch them on the counter attack. Potentially,
yeah.
yes. But we're not going to play like this against West Ham. We're not going to play like this
No.
against some of the other Premier League games we've got coming up. So our thing is we need to learn how to win on the front foot as opposed to
Yeah.
winning just on the counter attack. So it's as simple as that. It has been the same way for a while now. But
I know.
it was
It's true. It's
fantastic win
lovely to
today.
get. Yeah,
Fantastic
that's
win
the
today.
thing. It is fantastic. I don't know enough about how AC Milan play, and without Zlatan there, I don't know. It doesn't worry me as much. Maybe I'm just being
You
stupid.
can
But they're still decent,
you
obviously.
can
But
only imagine, and it's going on historically, how they would have played. That they would want
yeah,
to dominate the ball and they'd want to be all over you.
but
That's
they're
all I
not
can
that team.
think. But yeah, I
They're
just
not that team anymore, so it's hard to know. And without Zlatan, as I say, they're sort of different again because then you don't have that. Like that was my big worry playing against Zlatan. But yeah, obviously today I just loved it. And the only one that's what I was going to say to you. Sorry, I knew I didn't point there, Mick. The only one we haven't talked about is Wan-Bissaka. What did you think of his performance?
I thought he was really good. So again, yeah, another thing Dan said to me was, he hasn't shown any improvement. I actually think he has shown great improvement because when he gets forward and crosses, he's much better at getting down there and getting across in. Now today that opportunity didn't arise, so that's fine. His defence is exceptional. The one thing that he needs to improve more on is general passing. But I noticed today he didn't want to pass to Fred. He just wouldn't take that option. Genuine, I texted you and said I don't get it. Fred was on. Now he had people
Well,
coming
I
in
get
on.
it.
He had people coming on. He just wouldn't pass to him. So I think
Yeah,
that hinders him as well. That he doesn't trust Fred.
yeah,
And
I
I
can understand
completely
that.
understand that because if he passes to Fred and tries to make a run forward, he's getting caught out of position because you
Yeah.
guarantee Fred's going to give them the ball.
Yeah. No, I thought he was very, very good defensively, and I always think he is quite good defensively with his tackling and stuff.
Yeah.
I know there's a few boys, as we talked about before, who say he's out of position, but he does well to get back into position and make them tackles with his big, long legs, the way he does his spider legs, whatever they call them.
Again, no, I
Um,
still don't quite get my head around what they mean by out of
I know,
position
I don't either. I don't
because
either.
I don't know if they
Um,
mean in open play and set plays and in general because fullbacks are going to get caught out of position whenever they're pushing forward.
Yeah,
So I don't.
yeah.
I'm looking
Well,
more
we're still,
clarification, but none of them either they haven't listened to the episode, or they're just
they're
ignoring
bottling
us
it.
because
They're bottle jobs, mate.
they
Bottle
haven't
jobs.
offered to come on and clarify
Yeah.
themselves.
Well, as I say, the only thing I agree with you that his passing is where it lets him down because he is, and the Fred thing maybe that's something, but definitely just his passing in general needs to work on because that's something that you need to have that good passing, make sure you're not giving the ball away there because that's generally where he is. If he gives it away there, it's in our half, so they're onto us. So it's just something he needs to work on. But I thought he was very, very good defensively, which is what was needed today. But it probably goes back to the point we've made before. We need a right back who can attack. Didn't want that today as such, but for like you're saying, the games against Crystal Palace and all the rest of it, you want someone who's better at attacking in that right back slot, who can push forward, get good balls in the box, etc. So, but I agree with you. All in all, exceptional performance. We just beat Man City, who are running away with the league, and everyone's bombing and blowing about them. Stopped their 21 on
Mate,
or
that was a lovely
winning
little
run.
side story that was going on. So they had won 21 in a row, and we were
Yeah.
unbeaten 21 in a row away from home.
Yeah.
So whatever happened today, something was going to give.
Something was ending. No, we
And
give
just
it,
the
mate.
way
We
we
got it.
done it was exceptional.
I was so happy, mate. I went to the old school. You like the old school?
I do like the old
Cantona top
school.
with the
For anyone
the
who's
colour
not
up and
listening,
all,
he's wearing the Eric Cantona green and yellow Man United sharp top from
No,
the
but
goal. It was the pop-up volley when he had his arm in a cast against
yeah, mate.
Wimbledon.
Yeah, mate, it was
What
beautiful.
a goal! And
There's a
he
lot. There's a
wheels
tackle.
off, putting the
Yeah, there's a
cast up.
tackle in that match, mate. If anyone looks it up on YouTube,
Vinnie
there's a
Jones.
tackle in that match from Vinnie Jones on Cantona, and he absolutely bins him. Cantona rolls over twice, bounces up, looks at him, and just walks off as if to say, "I not wasted time. You wee rat." Loved it.
You're loving
Loved
the
it.
word rat
Anyway,
tonight, aren't you?
I know, mate. Rat's good. I like a wee rat. I'm trying not to swear as much. Mum was here today for Rooney's birthday. I know. No. She's my bubble. She's
Dun
my
dun
bubble. So
dun.
she was saying to me about I'd got her out before the match, obviously, and she was saying to me, "Oh, you go do your podcast tonight. Make sure you aren't swearing on it." So I was trying. I think I've swore a few times, but I'll be alright. So yeah, all in all, great win. Love it. Happy, but I'm trying not to get carried away because reality can come
Well,
in very
I'm
quickly if
not
we go
getting
back
carried
to
away. I'm taking it
shit
for what it is.
performance.
I'm taking it for what it is. It was a fantastic win, but I know that we're Man United. In terms of we're the new Man United, I know that it's not just going to be
Yeah.
simple. I think, and we'll move on nicely into the AC Milan match. I think we're going to have another very positive result against AC Milan. I think they'll underestimate us. I think they will keep a high line. I think they will play into our hands the same way City did today. I'm not I'm not scared. I'm not overly worried about playing them. And just for everyone that's listening, it's a 5 to 6 kickoff again on Thursday
Is
night.
it?
Yeah,
Fucking keep firing these things in, mate. Throws
yeah.
me off kilter.
So,
Um,
but what's your thoughts on
so
them then? Are you looking at a few of the
I,
recent
I,
results?
I'm not looking at a few of the recent results. I sort of know the recent results. I know the one tonight, 2-0 against Verona, but Verona aren't very good. What I actually wanted to look at was their goals. The goal difference is 20. It doesn't tell me what their goal scored is in this app. I'll have to look it up online. I just wanted to look at the goals conceded because I know they do seem to concede quite a few goals. Um, so I'd just be interested to see what the number is, but I'm just trying to
So,
find
mate,
it
here's
here.
one for you. In their last 10 games, they have won 4, lost 4, and drew 2.
So it's not really amazing.
No.
So they've had 30 goals conceded. They scored 50, conceded 30 in the league.
Yeah, but look,
So
if you look at our goals scored and
what have we
conceded,
conceded?
you know what I mean? It's not
Um,
massive. I don't think you can tell a hell of a lot off that, especially because if there's
yeah,
one game like a 9-0.
yeah. Well, that's true. Like, but the goals conceded for us has been 20, 32. So, so yeah, that's
There you
right
go.
there. Actually, yeah. But what I will say is I know from looking at them even in the Europa League because I always have a look because I like I'll not hide I love Zlatan. It's always brilliant. So I
Did
always
they
have a look to
drop
see if he
down?
scored.
Did they drop down from the Champions League, or have they been in the Europa from the
Ooh,
start?
good question. No, I think they were in Europa from the start. I might be wrong in that, so someone correct me if I am. But I just think they've been in Europa from the start. But I still know they do concede. You know, even that team they played, who they won in the last round, they conceded a 2 or 3 in the first leg to them. So they definitely concede goals. Um, I I don't know. I haven't seen enough of them. I was worried about the Zlatan effect. I'm not worried about that now, obviously. And this is where the frustration comes in. If we play like we played today, I think we'll beat them 3 or 4-0. But obviously, in the back of my mind is, well, what if we play like we played against Crystal Palace? And if we play like we played against Crystal Palace, we could end up losing 2-0. So
But that's the
I
point
also
I'm
don't like
making.
the first match at home.
We will play the way that the other team, like we will adapt to the other team, and we will want
Mm,
them to have more of the ball. And if they
yeah, and
have more
they'd
of the ball,
probably be
then we
used
have
to it.
no issues.
They're second in the Italian league, probably used to that against the lesser teams within that league. There's bar the top 3, 4. The rest of the teams aren't really great shakes over there. So they maybe be used to that, which might fit into our hands, like you say. So I I'd say if Rashford is out, which it seems like he is, put Martial left, put Cavani middle, put Greenwood right, Bruno in behind. Obviously keep Henderson in there. It seems like De Gea's going to be out now for 5 or 6
Well, I
games. They're
think
saying
there's
so.
no travel corridor between here and Spain, so when he does come home, he has to isolate for 10 days.
Oh, really? Right. Okay. So no matter what, anyway, the Henderson's in unless you want to play Lee Grant in the UEFA Cup.
I don't think it's
That's the
worth
Europa
the
League.
risk. Like.
Sorry, I old schooled it there. UEFA Cup,
You did,
Europa
mate.
League. No, I'm only joking. Obviously, Henderson plays above Bay in there with Maguire. Would you play Tellys? He's played in Italy before. He know the Italian game. He'd probably
Don't
be good
know,
at it.
like I
He's
don't
looked
know.
sharp enough in his last few games. Like.
Yeah, but look, Shaw's doing so well. It'd be a shame to kind of, especially when one of our players who is been I'm not going to say the heart and soul of our team, but he's been literally everything
Yeah,
good that we've done has gone through
you,
him.
you
I wouldn't.
contradict yourself so much.
Why?
Because midweek you were saying about how we don't rest players, we're all tired. Now's a chance to give Luke Shaw a wee break. Well, when he
He's
says
not one
a
of those
chance,
players
I
that needs
know.
a rest, though. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he
Certain
might be.
players need a rest. He's not.
Oh, you're so full of shit. But I want to say it's a chance. Maybe we were underestimating AC Milan to say it's a chance to give him a rest. I don't know. I get what you're saying. He is one of our main players, so to rest him all of a sudden, then he's saying that we should easily beat AC Milan, which I just don't know. I'm not saying we should. I'm not like obviously we would like to. I just don't know enough about them to say whether it will. We will easily do it if that makes sense. So I don't know. I would. I think I would play Tellys. I think I'd play Tellys, Wan-Bissaka. Is Donny fit? Was Donny on the bench today?
No, he wasn't on the bench.
Wasn't on the bench, so
No.
he's still not fit. Was
Doesn't
he
look
not
like
back
it.
for the bench midweek?
No.
Oh, did I make that up?
Well, you just said it there now, so I don't know if you made it up or if you've just said it for the first time.
Yeah, I think I made it up. I just made it up, mate. Right. So, well, if he's fit, I wouldn't be adverse to playing him. I don't know when Pogba's back either.
We've still got a lot of players to come back. That's the exciting thing about it. With 10 games left in the Premier League, we're showing that we can do bits. Like, once we get Pogba and the likes back, we could really push on. And
yeah, if
you
there's
know
a
what I
chance
mean?
to get Pogba back, get him a few minutes on Thursday night, I would. I'd give him a few minutes against
Yeah,
Italian.
100%.
He knows the Italian league. He knows the inside out. Probably score a couple of screamers against him because we used to love that over in Italy. And you'd give him half an hour at the end if he's getting back in for fitness, and then he's available to play West Ham because I'd love to have him back in playing, to be honest. And then if Donny's available or fit, maybe you put him in. But I wouldn't be leaving Fernandez out. I don't think we can.
No.
I don't
No,
think
it'd be
they're.
silly.
Yeah.
What's your prediction?
This is a tough one. At home, first leg. What do you want to do? Do you want to go and teach them a lesson like we did against Sevilla? 3-0. Go
Well,
big. Go big. See if this doesn't
when
work.
did we play Sevilla?
Who did we play?
Real
Real
Sociedad.
Sociedad. Sorry. We played Sevilla last year, mate.
All right, what's the score?
3-0.
Against Inter Milan, yeah?
Yeah.
Or AC Milan.
AC, you know, I thought you were joking.
I was joking. Right, so you're saying 3-0? That's fucking... You what's wrong? You go from 2-0
I don't know, man. I
loss.
got all excited. I was gonna say I was gonna go and tell it when I was getting beat, but I went big there.
I'm going to go repeat 2-0. 2-0. And the last thing I'll have to say, mate, is I'm just looking out my kitchen window here, and I can see there's a lovely big moon up in the sky, and the one thing it isn't fucking blue.
You Manchester's red blood. Love it. So that's our predictions. Thursday night's coming. What did you say? 5 to 6.
5 to 6 BT Sport Thursday night.
We'll get a wee podcast on then after that. So there's something I was wanting to say there. It's gone out of my head. Don't know what it was. Must have been a lie. But look, brilliant day, brilliant. And I hear also just to mention, it was an absolutely wonderful day because not only did we beat Man City, but Fulham beat Liverpool just to make it a wee bit funny. Liverpool are cracking up. Oh, it's brilliant. Kloppy's doing a Dortmund all over again. So yeah, good day all right. So that was a super Sunday. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as we did. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight, and we will be back on Thursday night. And until then, as always, let's stay Brothers United.
Good night, everyone. Have a good week.
Night all. Bye bye.